Oh, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Now, Kurt's convinced that Robert De Niro's on some kind of Epstein list or some kind of thing like that, and then he's afraid that if Trump does get power, he's going to expose him, and he is actually going to come at him.
Of course Kurt thinks that.
That's what Kurt thinks that.
Kurt thinks that about every thing that happens in the world.
I think Robert De Niro's just got Trump derangement syndrome.
I think he's old, too. There's a thing about old men.
And
they want to yell at everybody.
And he's completely... Did you see when he went and gave that speech outside of the trial? That was bizarre.
Who told him that was a good idea?
And then
what happens when a titan of the silver screen, a man whose presence wants to find real cinematic power, finds that legendary roar fading into a frustrated echo in a world that's no longer listening? And what happens when the self-appointed king of unfiltered conversation decides to publicly break down that fading legend? Piece by careful piece. This isn't a movie script. It's the real-life shift of Robert De Niro and the blunt verbal takedown by Joe Rogan that has everyone talking.
Why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this publicly?
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
If you're going to come out and say that you have a really deep-seated hatred for one of the two people running for president, you can't just be, he's a bully, he's a piece of shit. I hate him.
He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has.
You probably, if you're going to express yourself about it and alienate 50% of the country, which it seems like it is, you're going to have to do better than that. You should have some specific things.
Robert De Niro, just hearing the name brings back flashes of pure intensity. Travis Bickle and that cold, haunting stare. Vito Corleone with his quiet, controlled menace, and Jake LaMotta and his raw, brutal force. For decades, he set the bar. An actor who could own a scene with a soft whisper or a sudden burst of rage, earning awards and the lasting respect of audiences everywhere.
He starts yelling at regular people. He's like, fuck you, you're a gangster. Go fuck you. Like,
it's crazy that that's the guy from Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
You know what also I think? I think those guys have no friends. I think the only friends they have are Hollywood phonies. And so you're in this weird world where everybody you talk to is a phony, and you become a phony, and everyone's a phony, and your grasp on reality is very slippery, and your eyes are going, right? Mm-hmm. So your vision of the world, your actual vision of the world, your ability to read a phone. You ever see old people's text messages? The fucking text on their phone is like as big as my hand.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so your vision of the world is blurring, literally and figuratively, and then you're getting old.
But somewhere along the way, that controlled fire he mastered on screen seemed to spill into real life. Without a filter. The celebrated actor slowly shifted into a loudly political figure, with public appearances more and more defined by fiery, often aggressive outbursts. One especially awkward moment found De Niro outside a New York courthouse, supposedly there to support a political case, but instead launching into a tense, agitated speech while visibly sparring with hecklers. It was worlds away from the calm authority and quiet gravitas audiences once knew him for.
You're on stage in front of people with TV cameras pointed at you. You've never experienced that in your life, and you have a panic attack. It doesn't mean you're an idiot, and that's also Robert De Niro.
Yeah, it's in the wrong
same
element.
thing.
Yeah,
it's like, why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this publicly?
This new version of De Niro felt less like a calm statesman and more like someone overtaken by constant anger. That famous intensity no longer felt controlled or powerful, but raw, exposed, and, to many people, strangely out of place. And this shift didn't just turn heads, it grabbed the attention of a very different kind of public figure. Enter Joe Rogan. He's not a Hollywood insider or a polished media pundit. Rogan built his empire in the digital Wild West with the Joe Rogan Experience, a show that grew into a cultural force. Millions tune in for the long-form, unscripted, and often controversial conversations that define it.
And when old people are tired and cranky, they just want everyone to listen to them, and they don't have time to have a calm conversation, and you state out your opinion, I'll state my opinion, let's see where we have common ground. Hey, get off my lawn! And that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's being this old grumpy man that is so lost that he thinks it's a good idea to stand in front of a bunch of people on the street and give a speech on camera about how bad Donald Trump is. With all the shit that's going in the world.
That I know.
All the craziness of the world.
Right.
His appeal comes from a sense of realness, a willingness to dig into topics and welcome guests that mainstream media often avoids. Rogan's platform acts like a pressure cooker, where ideas, personalities, and public figures are tossed in, tested, and often pulled apart. So, when the noise around De Niro's increasingly volatile public image made its way to Rogan's world, it became a cultural moment that was impossible to ignore.
Robert De Niro, there's something about being a star where you think your opinion's more important than anybody else's, and you can go give a press conference, and he obviously has been very vocal from 2016 that he hates Trump for whatever reason. Maybe they have some personal thing.
You think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when there were protesters outside? No way.
Now he's like holding press conferences. Now everyone's heckling him everywhere he goes.
That's so bad.
Like instead of just being this cranky old liberal, now you're this guy that is yelling at other people that are Trump supporters, and they're yelling at you. Like you've opened yourself up to this nonsense. Like, why?
At the heart of Rogan's criticism, and a feeling shared by many online, was a loud, almost theatrical contradiction. Here was De Niro, an actor whose career was built on playing characters drenched in violence, corruption, and moral gray areas. Mob bosses, unstable vigilantes, and ruthless figures living far outside the boundaries of normal society.
I think he and Trump hate each other personally. I think that's
Really?
what that is. Yeah, I think probably. What are the odds?
He seems mentally handicapped. I'm not kidding. He seems I don't know. I have a feel he doesn't know about. He was on Bill Maher. Bill Maher has him on to ask him. It's crazy that Bill Maher would ask him anything. You know, there's a National Guard in the fucking subways and shit.
Yeah.
So Bill asks him, "What do you think about it?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't know about that. If there's anything I can do to help."
All you should be asking Robert De Niro about is two things: awesome movies and divorce.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell me what happened to you.
I would love to ask him about
with
that.
the divorce. Tell me what happened if you want to talk about it, and tell me what happened to you with these awesome fucking movies. I don't need to know jack shit about his politics.
Yet, this same man was now speaking with intense urgency, almost desperation, presenting himself as a moral authority and delivering fiery speeches. How could the actor who brought some of cinema's most infamous anti-heroes to life suddenly expect to be seen as a symbol of virtue? The contrast wasn't just ironic. For many, it chipped away at the sincerity of his new political crusade.
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care.
You didn't think this through. Like, this is, and he's getting yelled at. He's doing an outside press conference. Like,
Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
Robert, you're 80 years old. Don't ruin this thing. You've had this life where you were a raging bull. You know, you were in The Godfather. Like, stop doing this. Don't do this.
That reaction was only made stronger by what many see as De Niro's deep disconnect from everyday life. The Ivory Tower argument quickly followed. A multimillionaire living in the comfort of Hollywood, delivering angry lectures about society, felt out of sync with Rogan's audience, many of whom are dealing with very real day-to-day struggles. To them, his speeches can sound like out-of-touch rants from an elite voice. It creates the image of an old man shouting at the sky, only sharper and more critical. A once powerful figure who can't quite understand why his passionate words now earn more eye rolls than applause.
The people that are doing it right now about Biden telling you how you should vote, even though you know he's impaired, you definitely shouldn't vote for Trump.
He has no understanding that I can see of the outside world other than anything around him. He has no idea of what his purpose in life is as the president should be, and that is to pull the country together, to be for the people, to heal wounds, not to open them up and pour salt on them.
Don't tell people that, you idiot, because it's going to make more people angry and want to vote for Trump.
This is where the guessing around De Niro's motives really takes off. Some chalk his intensity up to what they call a serious case of Trump derangement syndrome. Others, especially in more conspiratorial corners of the internet, hint at darker, unproven fears, powerful people worried about being exposed, though that stays firmly in a realm of speculation. Whatever the reason, this sense of detachment created the perfect opening. Joe Rogan doesn't take on someone like De Niro by yelling or trading insults. Instead, he uses what feels like verbal jiu-jitsu. Calm, measured, and almost clinical, he breaks down De Niro's public remarks in on-camera blow-ups, holding them up to the light for everyone to examine.
You are not going to convince anyone walking down the west side of New York City talking into your phone about what a threat Trump is to democracy. You aren't changing anybody's vote. You're just being a condescending, scolding, liberal which is what drives everyone crazy.
I always say he's a lowlife. He's a lowlife.
Rogan's real strength is his ability to shape the story, guiding his audience to see the situation through his point of view. A view that highlights the gap between what De Niro means to say and how it actually lands. It's less about proving De Niro wrong and more about making him seem awkward, outdated, or simply out of touch. What makes Rogan's breakdown hit even harder is De Niro's response, or often, the lack of a meaningful one. When he is challenged or analyzed, De Niro's reactions tend to swing between angry pushback that reinforces the criticism and vague, carefully worded statements that avoid the point entirely. That silence, or sidestepping, becomes fuel. It leaves an empty space that Rogan's narrative quickly fills. In the court of public opinion, especially among Rogan's massive audience, criticism that goes unanswered often starts to feel confirmed. But this ongoing clash isn't just about two well-known personalities going at each other. It reflects something much bigger happening in modern culture. It's a clear example of how celebrity power is losing its grip in the digital age. The rise of the internet, alternative media, and a more skeptical audience has completely changed the rules. Today, authenticity, or at least the appearance of it, is the new currency. Voices like Joe Rogan's often earn a level of trust that traditional celebrities can no longer rely on. In the end, the unraveling of Robert De Niro's public image isn't really about politics. It's about a shift in who holds attention and influence. The surprising and maybe uncomfortable truth isn't just that a Hollywood legend can be so easily challenged, but what that says about how fragile legacy has become under constant digital scrutiny. The authority De Niro spent a lifetime building seems to have quietly faded. And the loudest sound in all of this isn't De Niro's angry speeches or even Rogan's calm takedowns. It's the sound of the public looking elsewhere. Attention is moving on, leaving behind a question that hangs in the air. Who are the next giants? And how many once revered figures will end up speaking into the void? The rules have changed.